My story isn't common. I was raised in San Francisco, and my home was filled with violence and addiction. My normal was watching my family go through a revolving door, in and out of jail, because of choosing the lifestyle of gangs and all that it comes with. All my sisters and I knew was deception and lies. At 13, I met Brian. He would be the one who introduced me to Jesus. I couldn't see it then, but God planned a plot twist in my life. This guy named Brian not only became my best friend, but now is my husband. There was always this curiosity, this wondering about God. Is he real? If he is, does he care? Does he see me? I grew up in a Catholic home where we would go to Mass when it was convenient and holidays. We were a religious home where I was taught that as long as I worked out my sin, I was okay. If I was good enough, worked hard enough, I'd be accepted by God. The more Brian and I would talk, the more I heard about Jesus. I began to understand that I was accepted based on my relationship and proximity to Christ, not by what I was able to do. So I made a decision. I wanted to follow Jesus. I went home and told my dad I was going to choose to be a Christian. My decision was met with the disapproving hand as he slapped me across the face, then called me every name in the book. This was not the story I pictured when I chose to be a Christian. Later, I graduated high school a week after my 18th birthday, got a job and moved out with 2 garbage bags of clothes to my name and nowhere to go. My story began to spiral out of control. I experienced what I thought of as freedom, but this freedom left me with addiction and a lifestyle filled with violence. I loved the freedom that I thought I had, saying and doing anything I wanted, but the consequences left me caged. I lived in the Bayview district in San Francisco, where looking back, there were many moments that God had to have had my back. Moments and feet away from crossfires, shootings, drive-bys, people smoking pipes and shooting up. In the midst of it all, when someone spoke of God, I was quick to defend him. Brian was determined to get me to church. For months, Brian would ask me every single week to go with him, and I would say no every single time. I got so tired of him asking that I agreed to just go to get him to stop. I remember being welcomed, sitting down and listening to a message that felt pointed right at me. I was overcome, and as tears flowed, it felt as though weights were being lifted. My heart began to change. My view of Jesus began to shift. It became about understanding and knowing God. I began to grow in strength in a way I never thought possible. I started to read the Bible, praying, and became a part of this wonderful, amazing group of people called the church. My story was changing. My perspective was shifting. Everything changed. My life, my choices, my marriage. I'm not perfect. I'm simply redeemed. It all started with an encounter with God and a decision to say yes to a relationship with Jesus.